What's up YouTube? It's Phanta. With the recent announcement of one of my favorites, Beckles taking the role of Okaroon in the upcoming Dandadan anime, I thought it'd be a good time to talk about the best black anime voice actors of the last 10 years. To start with, I want to shout out any current voice actors or aspiring voice actors that don't appear on this list. Just know that I see you and I hear your voices. I understand how hard it can be to break into this industry, and I hope the next time I make a list like this, I can have you on it. Also, let me give an honorable mention to Mike Smith. I always hear his voice in anime, but I never placed a name to it until now. He's best known for his role as the narrator in Buchigiri, but he's had a lot of roles in a lot of different anime, mostly as background characters. He's had an amazing 5-year run, and if I make this list again this time next year, I'm sure he'd probably be on it. Starting the list proper, the number 10 spot goes to Katero Colbert.
Training all morning, my belly is starving. I'm a rap-loving guy.
This is probably the first black person a lot of you have ever heard in an anime, as he's best known for voicing Killer B. He's not my absolute favorite, but seeing Killer B was always a treat in Shippuden. The reason he's at number 10 is not because of a lack of ability, but because he barely has any anime voice acting roles. In fact, before 2022, he literally only had one other anime role besides Killer B. So without his second standout role, he probably wouldn't be on this list. He wouldn't even be an honorable mention. So what is that second role, you might be asking? Well, in 2022, with the release of Bleach: The Thousand Year Blood War, he voiced Oetsu Nimaya, and his performance as Oetsu was literally game-changing. It was exactly what I was imagining when I read that arc in the manga. So, with those two, he takes the 10th spot. Spot number 9 goes to Shara Kirby.
Those idiots gathered together in a nice little clump for me.
So this is more of a recency bias pick. I was just playing Astral Ascent and I was just watching Scar on the Praetor, so her voice is ringing fresh in my mind. Don't mistake my words though, Shara deserves to be here. She's an amazingly talented voice actress that I look forward to seeing more of, but if you ask me on a different day, I might give her the number 10 spot instead. I'm gonna be honest with you, if this was a list about the best black cartoon voice actors or the best black video game voice actors, he'd be a lot closer to the top. But as far as anime goes, his resume is a little unimpressive, especially for how robust and awesome his voice is. The number 8 spot belongs to Ogie Banks.
Long time no see, eh, Mr. Ogre?
He's best known for voicing Muhammad Ali Jr. in Baki. For the most part, he mostly voices background characters in games, cartoons, and anime. And of course, there's nothing wrong with that. These background characters breathe life into these worlds. But me personally, I'd love to see this OG in more starring roles. You know, at this point in the list, a lot of you are probably asking, is this based on talent or the number of roles a voice actor's had? This spot should answer your question. Sliding to the number 7 spot, this one goes to Kimberly Ann Campbell.
Flipping your hair in his general direction.
Best known as Nagatoro from Don't Toy With Me Nagatoro. I know a lot of you hate this anime, you say it's the author's barely disguised fetish, but what I'm really focused on here is the level of talent on display. Kimberly probably has one of the weakest resumes on the entire list, but I am confident from what I heard from this anime, and this is really the only thing I've heard her in, but from what I've heard, she will be one of the faces of anime voice acting soon. That's how impressive she was to me. On to the number 6 spot, let's give that one to Corey Wilder.
If you must make small talk, can we at least continue walking?
Now Corey here actually has almost the exact opposite problem of most of the people on this list. Whereas most of the voice actors in the previous spots usually only have 1 or 2 significant roles and an unimpressive resume otherwise, Corey has been in almost every anime released in 2024, but he almost exclusively voices background characters. Like wow, just look at this. And look, like I said earlier, there is absolutely nothing wrong with voicing background characters. Without Corey's contributions to these anime, their worlds will feel a lot more flat and a lot less fleshed out. But after hearing him as Land in Freyren, I need to hear my boy in a more significant role ASAP. We're moving on to number 5, but first, I know I've been sounding like a broken record throughout this list. I keep saying the voice actors either don't have impressive resumes, or they don't have significant roles to their names yet. But trust my word, the top 5 of this list does not suffer from either of those issues. Getting back to it, number 5 is going to one of the GOATs, Bill Butts.
You're getting nowhere near me! Behind you, you bungling sucker!
This is my guy. Originally, he was a lot higher than this, but I think this spot works for him and I'll explain why. Bill has a pretty impressive resume. He's in almost all of your favorite anime, including a number of characters in Bleach. My favorite is probably Master Masculine. He's probably best known for his role as Chocolata from JoJo's Part 5. Even though he's been voice acting for a long time, and even though he has a few different very significant roles, for some reason I still get the feeling like we haven't seen the full extent of what Bill can do. So for now, he'll remain here. This number 4 spot goes to James Mathis III.
Are you really challenging me?
Compared to his other top tier peers, his resume is just above average, but he is not a slouch. His best role is definitely Biscuit Oliva from Baki, but he's been in countless other critically acclaimed anime. But since most of his roles are from cartoons and video games rather than anime, calling him a top 3 black anime voice actor seems a little strange. But again, he's still one of the top ones. He deserves this number 4 spot. We finally arrived at the glorious top 3, and at the 3 spot is someone who I consider to be a truly talented anime voice actor, Anairis Quinones.
If anyone out there is scheming right now, you best be prepared for me to send you flying.
You probably know her as the voice of Mirko in My Hero Academia, or maybe Yororichi in Thousand Year Blood War, or maybe as Rika in Jujutsu Kaisen. Look, looking at her resume makes my head spin. It is really a lot. Anairis has many times over proved herself as a top voice actor in anime. Don't misunderstand her placing here. If you ask me on a different day, Anairis could easily be number 2 or possibly number 1. This is my guy. The star of the show, the reason this video was created. Taking up the number 2 spot is AJ Beckles.
Yeah, I know, my bad. Actually,
best known as Takemichi in Tokyo Revengers, but he's had a wide variety of other roles in anime, games, and cartoons. Honestly, I struggle to even find something to say about AJ, not because he's not talented or he's boring, no. I can't find the words to describe the level of talent I hear every single role, every single one. All I can say is, I can't wait to hear him in Dan Da Dan. Here it is. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. We're at number 1. For some of you who are really familiar with black anime voice actors, there's one name you've been screaming at your screen the whole time. Here they are. He's Genya in Demon Slayer. He's Akira in Zom 100. He's Junpei in Persona 3, and he's Hawks in My Hero Academia. Please give a round of applause to our number 1 spot, Zeno Robinson.
Don't get up.
For those of you who aren't familiar with Zeno, for those of you who don't understand, how do I describe this so that you can understand? Zeno is special. This guy has serious range. It's rare for 2 of his characters to sound exactly alike. Even the best, most experienced voice actors can fall into that, but Zeno barely does. He's been in an absolutely staggering number of anime, and quite a few anime on the horizon have my guy in the starring role. Zeno Robinson, along with Alex Lee, have the potential and the talent to stand at the top of the anime voice acting world, and me personally, I can't wait to see it. I feel bad though. I mean, I've talked about a lot of people I really respect and I really admire, but I definitely missed quite a few. Especially limiting myself to the last 10 years, I know I missed quite a few pioneers. You know what they say though? If a little is good, a lot must be better. Next time on Phanta, I'll be giving you a lot more. Like, subscribe, comment, make sure to turn on the notification bell to be notified when I post a new video, and make sure to watch more anime.